Welcome to Analytics with Nags. In this video, I'm going to talk about what is build access in Power BI. You might have aware of different roles in Power BI like member, contributor, viewer or admin, right? But most of the people doesn't aware of what is this build access is all about. I'm here to clarify this, what it is and when to use it. Once you use this build access, what are the advantages you are going to get? Let's try to check it out as part of this video. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon for notification. The Analytics with Nags channel contains the free content worth $1,000 or rupees 75,000 worth. And what are the topics you can learn from this channel? The most demanding Power BI, which contains 175 plus videos and a lot more to come. And this channel contains MSBI, SSIS and SSAS, SSRS, which is nothing but a Power BI page noted reports that will be available soon. Right now we have SSIS and SSAS, and also you can learn SQL Server. And a lot of people who learn from this channel are new to the data analytics field, or they want to transition into this field. For them, we have created dedicated playlist for career guidance and interview topics. So please utilize this and share this channel with your friends and colleagues and let them grow. Before going to the build access, let's try to understand the shared dataset, what it is. Then it is mostly closely related with that. So shared dataset, you already aware, like you have a Power BI, you can connect to different data sources. Once you publish into Power BI services, the Power BI file will be split into two: datasets, reports. These dashboards can be built from on top of this multiple reports or datasets. It's an optional one. But these datasets and reports are two things that will be available in the Power BI services. So once you publish, people can able to create on top of this datasets, right? Let's say like this is the report, or by default it is came along with once you publish. People can use this datasets and they can create their own report. Okay, the user one can create his own report. This is user one, and this is user two. He can create his own report once he get the access. Basically, so this is called the shared dataset, where people can able to utilize the published dataset to create the reports. That's it. So what is this build option? In order to create a report from a shared dataset, you need a build access. That is the thumb rule. So this is what a build access is all about. So basically these users, user one or user two, whoever creating this datasets, reports on top of datasets, should get the build access. So there are different ways. So as part of this video, I'm going to highlight what are the different ways people can get the build access to get the access to the dataset so that they can create their own reports. And the second part of the video is all about the use case, how you can use this feature, the build feature, to take advantage of the free user licensing for premium or other licensing. That is what I'm going to explain. So let's move on to the first part, how you can get the build access. If you are a contributor, member or admin of a workspace or dataset, then by default you will get the build access. If you are a viewer, you will not get the build access. That is what I want to highlight. Then creating an app. Once you create an app, while creating the app, you will get there is an option to, while creating the app, the members of this app can able to build the report from the dataset. That is the another option where you can have a build access for the user. Then while sharing a report, you will get the build permission for the dataset. Where you are sharing a report, then while sharing there will be option like the users can able to build a report on top of the shared dataset. That is the third method. Then on the dataset level, you can manage the permission. These are the different options. Let's try to quickly check this ways to get a build access. Then we'll move on to the use case or advantages of taking advantage of this build option. So first things first, so let's move on to the Power BI. So the first way you can get is, I have two users. One is analyticswithnags, okay. The second user is Matin, okay. He is going to be our end user who can going to get the build permissions. That's what we are framed up. Now let's remove this Matin for build or whatever access he got, and the ways he can get into build access is like, this is the workspace. Build access is the workspace name, so little confusing. Forget about it. The workspace name, and this is the report. I have two reports. One is build access RLS. We will come to this report later. So in this, you can get the permission for the user or at the workspace level. Different ways you can give, right? So if I give workspace level, let's say like member, contributor, viewer, admin, for the Matin. Let's say he's a contributor, Matin. Okay, I'm adding Matin. Okay, then add him here. Okay, once you add him, then you will get the Matin can able to create the report. But now I want to show you the reverse one. Okay, actually what I mentioned here, if the user has contributor, member, admin, they can build the report. Now I want to add Matin as the viewer. Then let's try to check it out. So let's try to add Matin as the viewer. Matin viewer. Okay, now Matin is added as a viewer. Then you can check here also in the manage permission, Matin is a workspace viewer. Okay, let's go and check in Matin login. This is the user who has Matin. Okay, now you go and get, as I said, shared datasets. People can able to create a report. He logged in as Matin in the desktop. He's logging into a Power BI dataset. He can't see the build access dataset. You can see here, he can't see anything here because he is just a viewer. So once we make him as a contributor or some other options, okay, then he can able to see. Instead of doing for the have different options, right, contributor, member, I will go for this in the dataset level in the manage permission, because that is the proper way of doing it. You are controlling at the dataset level. Let's go to this dataset. Then I will say manage permission, Matin. I will say add build. So he is the workspace viewer or report level viewer or dataset viewer, but he can build the report. Now I add him as a build. Dataset level I have added. Just go to Matin again. Once again, let's get the Power BI datasets. It's taking little time. Now there you go. He can able to see this dataset. Once you click on it, he can able to generate its own report. That is what. So he can get the data here. He can build his own reports, and he can publish his data workspace as well. If you have premium capacity, then the free users can create the reports. You just add them as a viewer, then you can give them a build access. And another advantage or the use case for this is like viewers, that is people with viewers, can build the reports along with RLS enabled. Let's say like you publish the dataset that contains 10 products or 10 locations, and users supposed to see only 2 products or 2 locations based on your need. You can enable RLS, and only those person who supposed to see 2 locations can build their reports on their own. See, that is the main advantage of this build option when you go for. Let's try to understand it much better in this example. As we already seen, this Matin has already connected to this report, and he can able to create the reports from the shared dataset. We have given a build access. How this RLS can be enabled? We have another dataset here. Let's say there is a build access RLS report. In this dataset also, we will give him the build access, add build. So I have given it at the dataset level, and if it is RLS enabled, you may aware like we need to enable the RLS, add the RLS here, right? The user in the RLS as well, dynamic security or whatever name you give, it's a new role, just save it. So this user has added as part of the RLS. Now let's go back here in Matin. So this particular report pointing to this dataset, that is build access. Now I'm going to switch to this. Both dataset contain same data or columns, so this won't affect much. So basically I have given Matin only 2 products, so he can able to see only 2 products now. So let's try to change the data source with RLS enabled. You can see now, earlier it won't appear. Now after giving the access, it appeared. Now already he has access to build access. Now let's check this one, connect build access RLS. So this report won't see as soon as I added. So basically now this user can able to connect to the dataset with RLS enabled, so he can see only his data and he can create on his own report. So this is what one of the best use case of using this build option along with the viewer has more advantages. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and comment below for queries. Do remember that data is your asset.